Hello, good morning. Hotaki, kinade, chitge, diapdiho. Hi, good morning. It's July 22, 2020, and you're watching the Awesome 10X Show. Today's Philippine market update. It's already July 22. It's a Wednesday, paisa. So let's go discuss some news for you. So I think this is one of the most wonderful news to share. Ayala Corp Energy is heading to India with a $68 million solar project. Let's go read this. The Ayala Energy arm is debuting in India with a new energy project to boost its renewables portfolio in the Asia and Pacific region. AC Energy announced that its joint venture with Hong Kong-based UPC Renewables Group is building a 140 megawatt solar farm in the desert state of Rajasthan. The Setara solar project is costing around $68 million to supply solar power for India. It won the supply contract with a state-owned firm via competitive bid at 2.48 Indian rupees per kilowatt hour, fixed over a 25-year period. Solar facility will be going online the first quarter of 2021. AC Energy's President and Chief Officer Eric T. Francia said companies keen to join the Indian energy market, citing it as one of the world's largest and fastest growing markets for renewable energy. India has set an ambitious target to jack up its clean energy capacity to 175 gigawatts over the next 2 years, 100 gigawatts of which will come from solar, 60 gigawatts will come from wind, 10 from biopower, 5 gigawatts from hydropower. So this is a new technology bringing best practices to India, arousing its potential for renewable energy to help reach its energy goals. AC Energy's International Chief Operating Officer, Patrice Claus, said the solar project will cut 2.4 million tons of carbon dioxide during its life cycle. CEO of UPCAC Energy Solar, the two firms' 50-50 joint venture. It's our humble contribution to help India reach this renewable energy goal. I'm very happy to say this. Actually, yesterday, Microsoft, Starbucks, and Coca-Cola, I think, has pledged their renewable pledge of about a carbon neutral society by 2030. For those who are aware, Toyota also pledged their goal of 2050 carbon neutral. So the world is really heading into a renewable energy phase. Solar projects are actually one of the most effective ways and cheapest ways. I've been studying solar power, especially abroad. So solar microinverters like Enphase Energy, Solar Edge. We have also been studying solar panel installers such as Sunrun, the Vivint Solar Acquisition. These are actually good things. And I'm happy to share that the Philippines' very own Ayala Corp is doing this for Southeast Asia. Perhaps in the future, we could be proud that Ayala Corporation Energy is becoming the largest in Southeast Asia when it comes to renewable energy. Let's take a look at the chart of Ayala Corp Energy, ACEPH. For those who are aware, I have been discussing for quite a while now what is Kaishak AC Energy. For the last, I would say, a few months already, you could watch our Philippine market shows. Gun takmay Kaishak. AC Energy, Ayala Corp Energy wants to be one of Southeast Asia's largest renewable energy providers. I think their goal is something like 1,000 megawatts, isn't it? Besides, it's like a lofty goal. It's actually a great goal for 2025. So it's a 5-year plan. These are a good trajectory to execute on that plan. For those who aren't aware, ACEPH became a backdoor from TransAsia. So it went from about 90 cents to as high as 3 pesos. Fell down during COVID time as people couldn't understand what Ayala Corporation Energy was doing. And so far, it has held that 2.2 and 2.1 zone for quite a while, like since April. So 4, 5, 6, 7, we've got 4 months of consolidation. So far, I think that news is a resumption of this uptrend. You could see that any drops from 2.2 to 2.3 would probably be now bought. Higher lows, you could see this is a higher low from that $2 peso zone, quite a higher low from your 1.5 zone. You've got resistance, of course, at 2.9 and $3. None of the projects are yet profitable. It's just, it's starting. The joint ventures are still starting. But it's a good thing to discuss and to watch out for Ayala Corporation Energy. So good chart for me. For the next few months, maybe it's just going to consolidate 217 to 244. Nevertheless, this is a company that you want to be in your watch list. A few news to also share. Okay, so Double Dragon is planning a sale of $75 million bonds. So yesterday, I discussed Ayala Land is proceeding with their REITs, which is a 15 billion peso bond, a 15 billion peso bond, sorry, not a bond, but a REIT. It's going to be 15 billion pesos is $300 million. So this one is $75 million fixed rate notes. So these are bonds which has a 7.25%. The fact that it's 7.25% tells you that this is pretty high compared to what Jollibee got. Jollibee like 3.5%. SM was like 3.5 or 4%. Ayala Corp got a huge bond offering. ICT also got, PLDT also got. So this is like double the rate that they were paying. That tells you that this is a higher risk of bond considering the property developer. But still, it's a good yield, and it's actually a best one of the good ways for Double Dragon to actually refinance. The proceeds will refinance along with a potential 16 billion REIT offer to significantly augment the company's cash position, which is at 5.3 billion pesos. So so far, we are seeing a lot of Philippine corporations take advantage of all these liquid money abroad to actually raise financing, do a lot of interest expense savings, and that's actually good for these companies. So let's take a look at your Double Dragon shares. Let's go to the charts. For Double Dragon to get $75 million and a potential 15 billion pesos, it's good for the shares. Sorry, it's good for them, but it's bad for the balance sheet because I guess in the short term it's positive because that means that they are able to save a lot on interest expenses. You could see that the market actually didn't care. The market is ignoring all these things. Double Dragon is from about 16. Probably going to 1575, no volume, but fundamentally you want to actually be taking a look at the capacity of the company to raise money abroad. ICT, let's take a look at this. So ICT, for those who are aware, had already raised about, is it $400 million or was it $600 million? I think it was $400 million. So $400 million worth of cheap bonds, cheap money. So right now, we are seeing that IWI Container Terminal acquired 464,000 shares of ICT. So this shows you that the company of Razon is quite confident that ICT, that is a positive signal that the subsidiary is buying shares of the parent. Let's take a look at your ICT. So far, we are seeing that ICT Container Terminal Services is actually outperforming the broad Philippine market. You could see that this is a higher low here at about 92. This is also a higher low here at about 80. So we like companies that are leaders. And so it's good to see that worldwide, we do have this one of the best terminals in the world. You've got several. I'm not too, I can't give you a lot of facts. All I know is that ICT handles a lot of world DEUs, like millions and millions, not just for Manila, but also for China, for India, yeah, we can go to their annual reports and quarterly reports if you want to check it out for yourself. But yeah, so this is actually one of the world's best companies that is actually located in the Philippines. It's ICT, International Container Terminal Services. Take a look at it by yourself, do your due diligence. Good. It's actually trying to recover previous resistances at 117, 127. You've got a lot of supports here at 93 and 80 bucks. Let's take a look at some more news. Press release. Okay, SM Investments. SM is enrolling fixed rate notes for qualified investors and institutional buyers. It's actually good. So I told you that SM is actually raising 30 billion pesos. All of this money that's being raised at cheap money is actually good for the corporations, whether it be SM, Double Dragon, Ayala Corp. PLDT, Globe, Metro Bank, BDO, ICT, Jollibee. We've been discussing this all the while. So for those people who aren't watching, paulit-ulit lang ako, guys. But anyway, it just stresses to you that cheap money is available. Can you imagine? This is great, like 2.875% per annum. So BDO and China Bank was tapped as joint lead arrangers. SM has enrolled 5.6 billion pesos 2022 notes. So the cheap money available is going to allow SM investments to actually handle this COVID pandemic faster, recover better. So this is actually good. I'd say that that's a positive news. That's one of the reasons why your Philippine conglomerates are actually holding up very well from their March lows. Take a look at SM here. SM rallied from about 500 pesos back to about 900. Any drops at 840 is actually going to be defended, as people are actually happy that SM wants to actually, there was news that SM is doing a lot for their e-commerce solutions. I've been receiving text messages from SM that I could do a call to deliver. So you want to order something in SM, they could deliver it for you. They are pivoting to an e-commerce solution standpoint, and that's good for SM investments, and that's good for the economy that we are pivoting in this digital world. What else can I say? Let's talk a lot about like what happened. Oh yeah, so gold. Let's take a look at what happened for gold. Gold is up like $1840. Let's take a look at your gold stocks. So you could see like gold stocks abroad. I've been saying that Galiano Gold went from 110 to 180. Let's take a look at your Freeport McMoran. From about 12 plus to about 30, V-shaped reversal. So of course, you are seeing that AAAU is a mimic of gold. So we were saying that at 1770, it's bound to go 24 bucks. And so far, it's 1836. The highest correlation for the Philippine market for gold is APEX mining. And so far, we are right. Guys, we're right. We did say that at 128, 120, those are great opportunities to buy. Even if it fell to 115, it was still a good entry to buy. Congratulations to all of the gold bugs out there. You can see this is a good long-term move. If gold continues to go higher, the risk reward is to the bulls. The bulls have the upside here. Apex mining is now trying to hit that resistance at 150. You've got resistance at 170. You've got resistance at 190. But the bulls have this. So congratulations to all the gold bugs out there. Continue to hold your longs. Your 120 is a higher low. You've got a higher low at 130 as well. Let's see where this takes us. Okay, congrats to the bulls. What else can we say? Nickel Asia. Okay, so Nickel Asia, we're seeing Tesla report tonight on the earnings. All your electric vehicles, electrification world is really coming into fruition. China is doing a lot of electric vehicles. For those who aren't aware, 175HK just sold like I'll show you later some Chinese names. But you could see that electric beneficiary, a lot of companies abroad. And I was saying that in the Philippines, Nickel Asia is going to be actually a beneficiary of that trend, secular. So Nickel Asia is supplying nickel. And for all the electric vehicles, their battery storage would need lithium and nickel inside. So this is good for your Nickel Asia. We're seeing that higher low, 1.47, 1.8. Now you've got 2. Now it's 224. I do think that the upside is greater than the downside. Drops would be bought. You could see that at $2 people bought. At 224, 230, maybe some people might want to sell. But I'd say that this can move as high as 260. Give it some time. Any drops at $2 will now be supported. Higher low, higher low, higher low. So these are good uptrends for you. Very few winners, I'd say, in the Philippine market. That's why you don't want to miss out on the few winners that the Philippine markets has. Let's take a look at your broad markets today, the statistics and the index. Let's take a look. So in your top gainer space for the day with volume, we had Apex mining. Good job for the gold bugs, 10% up. Good job for Nickel Asia, 7% up today with volume. I don't know what's the news here, so this is not much for me. This is also speculative, so nothing to say about that, except, of course, speculative chartists. For our most active space, you could see that it's mostly in red. But the beautiful thing, I guess, is that at the very least, we have some greens today. Just APEX, really. APEX and NIKL, big green today. The rest is kind of pathetic again. Yeah, of course, you've got more losers. Let's take a look at your volume. So 4.3 billion pesos, not too high. So we still have low volume. Advances is 89, decliners are 105. We still continue to have foreign selling, negative 393 million. Gainers, a few. Robinson's Retail, Globe, BDO, Mega World, GT Cap. Oh, something about Mega World. Mega World is also planning to borrow some fixed senior bonds. I guess bonds or REITs, something like that. So they tapped a few foreign issuers to help them do a book building. So actually, we are seeing that the property companies in the Philippines are taking advantage of that cheap interest rates. You can imagine if they borrow 10 billion pesos, 1% savings is what's 1% of 10 billion, guys? It's 100 million pesos. So just by refinancing, they could potentially save. Usually, right now, they can save at least 100 basis points or 200 basis points. So can you imagine, like, borrow 10 billion, just refinance your debt to a lower interest, you could actually save 200 to 300 million pesos a year. That's actually significant. So I'm actually bullish that the corporations are taking advantage of the cheap money globally. So of course, if you can refinance your interest lower, it's actually a good thing. Even if it's just a 1% savings, that's huge because we're talking about billions and billions. We're talking about $300 million, $400 million, $600 million. So it's really a lot of money, and saving $6 million is no joke. What else can we say? Yeah, so gold, nickel, you could see that the world is really transitioning so much into the end of fossil fuels, and so we are seeing Semirara, coal power is actually dying. Let's see, take a look at what's happening. So yeah, like the losers continue to lose because only winners should win. Semirara mining, there has to be a replacement, of course, with coal power losing its edge over solar power, over wind power, all of the renewable energy. These are continuing to go down. Will it become new lows? Potentially. I'm not like predicting, but the world isn't in love with these fossil fuel and coal power. Yeah, it's not a good thing. What else? Yeah, so of course, your losers. Yeah, Semirara is a loser. The owner of Semirara is DMCI, so it continues to lose. These are new lows. Will it go all-time low? So the thing about DMCI is that I think like 50, not sure, is it 50 or is it 40, 30%? So like it's getting dragged down by Semirara. Semirara has to do something about how it can reposition itself as a renewable energy play. I think Semirara is doing its best. Semirara is not just coal, but also doing a lot of renewable. You could actually search it. Semirara Power Renewable. You can learn more about it in their company profiles. So they are actually trying to create more value. But then again, the coal business will continue to drag down. You could see it here. So yeah, so really energy firms worldwide, that's the problem. They've got a lot of costs and losses in that old power. So of course, we're going to the new renewable energies in the future. That's it. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Binadit Costello ho. I hope you understood whatever I said, Jose. Thank you. Goodbye.